I'm going to come back now. We're going to start exploring post-traumatic stress. What that is, it's a very complex thing. There's a lot of different pieces to this puzzle. PTSD has many different pieces. The one I'm going to focus on tonight is moral injury. Now, moral injury is a term used commonly to talk about wounds of the soul, meaning your soul can be wounded. And how one gets a moral injury is by doing something or training themselves to do something that is so far against the bearing of their own moral compass that they no longer know how to guide themselves through life. So when that occurs, it can cause a significant wound to the soul. Now we'll talk about this a little bit more later. I see last winter I went home to Arkansas to write this album of music. And my brother called me one night, and brother's name's Jordan. He's 9 years younger than me. He's a veteran as well. But he received orders for Afghanistan in 2010, and he came to me and he said, "I don't want to go. I saw what happened to you. You went over there as my brother, and you came back and you weren't my brother anymore. I didn't recognize you, and I don't want that to happen to me. So I want to resist orders. I'd rather go to prison than go to Afghanistan." And I was like, "Hot dog." It took me 3 tours to figure that out. You just get the orders and you know what you want to do. I was very proud of my brother. It's a brave thing to do, especially in this culture where if you decide to resist orders or challenge authority, you're often looked down upon, especially in Arkansas, you know, from a very small rural community. But he did it anyway. It was a brave thing. It was the right thing to do. So I went to go see my brother play with his band. He plays bluegrass as well. And I walked in and my brother said, "Hey, this is my mandolin player. His name's Alan. He's an Afghan vet." And I went over to Alan. I said, "Hey, Alan." Alan said, "Hey, that guy over there at the bar is my cousin. He's an Afghan vet. Would you go talk to him?" This is commonplace in Arkansas. There's a lot of veterans in Arkansas. So I go over to the bar and he buys me a beer. Well, I don't drink, but I drink it because in the military it's customary to buy someone a beer if you want to talk. Buying someone a beer was basically an open invitation. Let's talk about stuff. So I sit down and have this beer with this fella. He starts telling me that he fought for the 188th Fighter Wing in Fort Smith, Arkansas, the Air National Guard unit. He went over to Afghanistan. He was an airplane mechanic. He worked on A-10 fighter jets. They hold about 8,000 pounds of munitions and bombs. He said he'd load that thing up every day, watch it take off, come back empty. Load it up, watch it take off, come back empty. He said no one ever shot at me. No one ever dropped a mortar. We never took indirect fire. I was never burned. I never even left the base. I sat in my hooch, played video games, watched TV, put bombs on airplanes. That's about it. Then I came home. And all of a sudden I couldn't sleep. All of a sudden I was being really mean to my girlfriend. And I was driving like a maniac. I had all the signs of post-traumatic stress, but I didn't do anything. I was like, "Buddy, that's called moral injury. You've been dramatically altered just by participating in war. You don't have to do the shooting or the killing to be wounded by war. Just participating in it can challenge one's moral bearing." See, he felt a lot of shame. He didn't want to go to the VA and ask for help because he said, I wasn't in combat. I don't deserve help." I felt really bad about this. I hear this from vets all the time. But that's not the truth, man. We all deserve help. All you gotta do is go through basic training and you can wind up with a moral injury because it's not right to kill people. So this song is about that that guy's story and what he shared with me. Well, I fought for the 188. I packed my bags to meet my fate. And off I went to pay my rent. I've been a patriot since I was 8. So there I was with an old fighter wing, fighting the war no one could see, with 8,000 pounds of bombs and rounds. We'll load it all up as we all sing. Hey ho, here we go, load 'em up and watch 'em go. Hey ho, here we go, load 'em up and watch 'em go. Well, after 12 long months of war, I got home to do my chores, but instead I laid in bed. I could see that 810 sore. I said, hey ho, here we go, load 'em up and watch 'em go. I said, hey ho, here we go, load 'em up and watch 'em go. Well, I went to the bar every night, tried to drink away all my pain and fright, but what could do when the drink was through but dream about the war every night. Hey ho, here we go, load 'em up and watch 'em go. I said, hey ho, here we go, load 'em up and watch 'em go. Well, invisible wars too much for me. What we need is a conversation, you see, but it'll have to wait 'cause I got a date. Uncle Sam needs 12 more from me. Hey ho, here we go, load 'em up and watch 'em go. I said, hey ho, here we go, load 'em up and watch 'em go. Hey ho, here we go, load 'em up and watch 'em go. I said, hey ho, here we go, where they all go, nobody knows.